On the news, suicide bomber kills 10 at Benue food joint. Kebbi government confirms 30 deaths in Zuru banditry attacks. And Atiku and El Rufai, including others, pick new platform approaches INEC for registration. Many thanks for joining us on the news on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Tamilore Akinkolie. We begin in Benue State, where tragedy struck Nduga local government area of the state on Friday night when a suicide bomber detonated an explosive device at a crowded local food joint, killing over 10 people and injuring several others. The attack, which occurred around 10 p.m., sent panic across the community, with victims rushed to nearby hospitals for treatment. Eyewitnesses described the scene as devastating, noting that the food joint was a popular spot for locals and passers-by. Confirming the incident, the spokesperson for Benue State Police Command, ASP Naum Daso, said the commander deployed his explosive ordnance disposal EOD team alongside the military and other security agencies to restore calm and investigate the attack. He noted that the bomber was burned beyond recognition and that investigations were ongoing to determine the full scale and motive behind the blast. And the Kebbi state government has confirmed that 30 people were killed in recent bandit attacks on communities within the Zuru Emirate. Chairman of Zuru Adanko Wasago local government areas Mohamed Gajeri and Hussein Bema reported that 16 people were killed in Tadugra, while 14 others lost their lives in 2 different districts. Several others sustained injuries, with the attackers also cutting away livestock and other valuables. During a visit to the area, the state's Deputy Governor, Senator Umar Tafida, conveyed the government's condolences and reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening security in the affected areas, including blocking all entry points to prevent future attacks. Now, speaking on behalf of the Governor Nasiri Idris, Senator Tafida also offered praises for the victims and announced the 50 million naira donation to support the affected communities. The worsening security situation in Benue State has also drawn national attention following the deadly attack in a Letawa community that claimed over 200 lives. During a recent visit to the state, President Bola Tinubu expressed strong displeasure over the inability of security agencies to apprehend the perpetrators and called for urgent measures to restore peace. He directed the creation of an inclusive peace committee made up of former governors, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and non-indigenous residents to foster dialogue and cooperation, particularly between Benue State and neighboring Nasarawa State. Now, speaking on the development, security expert Kabiru Ademu commended the president's leadership, but stressed the need for administrative follow-through and accountability. He emphasized the importance of a centralized and tech-driven database to track citizens and map criminal activities, warning that without concrete action, presidential directives could fail to stop the cycle of violence and insecurity.
The simple reconciliation is to enhance accountability. There is no accountability within the system. There is a proliferation of security structures. I just explained them at the federal level, at the state level, at the community level, but none of them is being held accountable. How is it possible that individuals will come into a community, kill up to 100 people, and leave without one of them being arrested? And then a number of days after the killing, no information as to who they are and all of that. So we need to hold the various layers accountable, from the federal to the state to the local government. And I must encourage the governor. Again, on my LinkedIn post, not the last one, I did a previous one, I have provided what is ideal for a public security structure. A public security, and this is what the governor must do. He should take a visit to Lagos or invite people like us to talk to him about how have an effective public security system in place. It must have 6 components, and I'll quickly mention them. It must be able to detect the threat elements. It must be able to deny them, and where it's not able to deny them, it must be able to delay them, which takes us to the 4th component, which is the response component. In the farthest local government, in maybe Kwande or any other local government that is really far from Makurdi, he should simulate an attack and see that it takes nothing less than 7 minutes for response to that location. And that could mean through helicopters, it could mean through motorbike, whatever, but it must be within 7 minutes. And then the fourth one is the ability to review when an incident occurs. And then, of course, the last one to recover. Any public security system that does not have this, it's not effective. And at the moment, Benue does not have that. So the onus is on the governor to use his security vote. I say this with all sense of responsibility. He has appointed structures, but those structures are not meeting the 6 components that I've mentioned. So I would urge him to quickly go ahead and put in place those structures. If he wants, he can visit Lagos. Lagos has a semblance of some of these structures that I've mentioned. Otherwise, he could call experts, and I'm volunteering myself. We can support him to put in place such a structure. Now, embedded in that structure is the intelligence component. And that takes us to our conversation around the vigilantes. The vigilantes can play a huge role in the intelligence component, but we must also use technology. In today's world, without technology, you can't achieve what you want. He must embed within all of these 6 components the technology which allows speed, a force multiplier in almost all the components that I've mentioned. So again, it's really about understanding security. It's about implementing a public security system that is able to achieve these 6 elements. If we don't have accountability and we do not encourage these 6 things that I've mentioned, then I'm sorry to say we may repeat this conversation in a couple of months from now.
A coalition of prominent opposition leaders has adopted the All Democratic Alliance (ADA) as a unified political platform to challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) in the 2027 general elections. The group has formally applied to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for ADA's registration as a political party. Key figures in the coalition include former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, ex-governors Rotimi Amechi and Nasiru El-Rufai, among others. The application, co-signed by Pro-Tem National Chairman Akin Ricketts and Secretary Abdullahi Musa Elayo, was received by INEC on June 20th and includes all required documents such as the party's flag, constitution, manifesto, and meeting minutes. The ADA, with the slogan "Justice for All," features a logo symbolizing its ideals through the use of maize and specific colors. Initially considering existing parties like the ADC and SDP, the group opted for a new party after internal divisions and legal disputes within established platforms raised concerns. Now, earlier on, I spoke with political affairs analyst Jide Ojo about the proposed party to challenge APC in 2027, and I began by asking him if he thinks the ADA has a realistic chance of challenging the APC in the election, especially given APC's national spread and incumbent advantage.
Until when INEC hands them the certificate of registration, that's when they will become a registered party, and that will make them the 20th political party registered in Nigeria right now. But until that is done, it's just, we can only speculate what impact they will make as we go on. But suffice to say, Tamilore, that this is not a coalition of political party. This is a coalition of individuals. And that makes a world of difference between APC, which was registered in July 2013, and this new coalition of ADA, because APC was a coalition of political parties. You have the Alliance for Democracy, you have the All Nigeria Progressive Party (ANPP). You have some part of ABGA and some from in fact the entire CPC were also in that merger. So what we see now is not a merger of sorts. It's just a coalition of spent forces. People who are previous office holders, former vice presidents, a couple of former governors, and that's it. But we'll wait to see how this will pan out in coming weeks.
All right, Mr. Jide, now you just stated the difference between APC when it was formed in 2013 and this proposed new party, which is the ADA. Now, considering that the party is full of influential politicians, do you think there will be a potential power struggle within this coalition?
I don't know whether you are familiar with CPC, Congress for Progressive Change. You see, when Muhammadu Buhari then contested 2 times under ANPP, he lost in 2003, he lost in 2007. So ahead of 2011, former President Muhammadu Buhari, then an aspirant, decided to form his own party. And that was when INEC registered it ahead of 2011 general presidential election. It was registered as Congress for Progressive Change. As at that time, everybody said, oh, this is a game changer. This is a party that would defeat PDP. Because of the clout, the influence of someone like Buhari that everybody thought is mega scare, that's a very honest man. And as at that time, people said the best president Nigeria never had was Muhammadu Buhari. So INEC registered CPC, but what was the outcome? CPC only managed to win in one state, which is Nasarawa State, where they produce a governor, Tankwa and Makura. Even the home state of the presidential candidate, which is Katsina, they lost to PDP. So, in fact, what I've read, what I've seen, is that some people are even speculating that this ADA is just kind of platform that is targeting 2031, not even 2027. You know why? Because most of the promoters of ADA are from northern Nigeria. You are talking of Atiku, you are talking of El Rufai, you're talking about Northern Elders Forum or people like that. So majority of them, with the exception of people like Rotimi Amechi, who is a former governor of Rivers State, and even this Rickett, this man that they appointed as a pro-tem chairman, Rickett, this is the first time I'm hearing his name. So these are people of, I mean, without being modest, I don't think they pose a serious threat to the APC in 2027.
All right, well now, lastly, before I let you go, now considering Nigeria's election logistics and structure, how difficult will it be for ADA to build grassroots structures in all 774 local government areas by 2027?
It's not going to be difficult if they have people with deep pockets supporting them. Because it's all about having the resources. And because I do not, at present, at least there is no serving public office holder that is behind it, the promoters will have to cover the initial seed funding. But do you realize that this party is still not registered? It's just an association. We have to really make that point that this kind of conversation is best held after the certificate of registration has been presented, which will be in another 1 month or thereabout. But for the purpose of this conversation, if you want to speculate that they have been registered, getting funding to get the party across all the 768 local government and 6 area councils, the 36 states and FCT, will not be difficult because it's people will have to bring out money to open offices for the party. They will have to embark on mass registration of new members because as it is now, they cannot even register members until when they have been registered, when they have official certificate of registration. And that is why it's even coming too late in the day for them. Because even with all the money in central bank, before you get the registration done, then you start to rent offices across 36 states. Then rent offices across the 768 local governments and 6 area councils. That will take time and resources.
And in a move to bolster border security and promote trade facilitation, the Nigeria Customs Service Area Border Command on June 19, 2024 hosted students from the Nigeria Army Intelligence School, Lagos. Now, during the visit, the students toured key facilities at the Seme border and received briefings on the functions, origin, and challenges of the Customs Service. Comptroller of the Seme Area Border, Ben Lugo, underscored the importance of interagency collaboration, particularly between the Nigeria Army and the Customs Service, in safeguarding national borders and boosting economic growth. He also highlighted the command's recent achievements, including the processing of export consignment valued at 47 billion naira, successful anti-smuggling operations, and improved stakeholders' engagement with traditional leaders and security agencies.
We are all security agencies. We only have division of labor. So the people that visited us today are from Army Intelligence School. So they have come here to share ideas, to know what to do at the border. So we're able to take them around our facilities, what we do in Seme border. As you know, Seme is a very crucial border, connecting Nigeria with French-speaking corridors. We call it Abidjan corridor. So if you learn anything about Seme border, you can as well transfer the knowledge to other borders in Nigeria. So it was a very vital deliberation and collaboration. They now know what custom officers, what custom is doing, and we also know what the army is doing. So it's very, very important for vital development of customs and the army. The same thing, customs did the same thing by taking them around in all vital places for them to see how we work, how we collect revenue about our anti-smuggling activities. And I, as the head of the Nigeria Customs in Seme border, I used to brief them about customs, the origin of customs, the functions of customs, and our challenges of Nigeria Customs Service. And I think they are better informed. I also use the opportunity to present my book, Nigeria Customs Administration, and I'm sure the book will be very, very useful to them. The take-home message is that the collaboration should continue. No agency, no organization, especially in uniform, should see itself as an isolated organization. There must only be collaboration between the whole agencies. We're all working for the same federal government to make Nigeria safer and better.
The International Organization for Migration (IOM) has lauded Nigeria's progress in migration governance and disaster preparedness, even as Vice President Kashim Shettima urged for stronger collaboration to tackle the growing humanitarian crisis in the country. During a courtesy visit by an IOM delegation led by its Nigeria Chief of Mission Sharon Dimanche at the Presidential Villa, Shettima stressed the urgent need for inclusive, practical solutions to the challenge of climate change, migration, poverty, and insecurity, particularly in the North Central and other crisis-prone regions. Shettima highlighted the direct link between ecological degradation and economic instability, emphasizing that poverty, illiteracy, and environment decay continue to fuel displacement and violence across Nigeria. He called on the IOM to deepen support for gender empowerment and land restoration in affected areas. In her remarks, Dimanche praised Nigeria's diversity and resilience, citing initiatives like the State Action Plan on Floods and Anticipatory Action Framework as key milestones. We're now going to short break here, but still to come on news now. Dangote Refinery increases ex-depot petrol price to 880 naira per litre. Details of the story will be brought to you right after this break. Welcome back. Now here's a recap of some of our top stories. A suicide bombing at a popular food joint in Konduga local government area of Benue State on Friday night killed over 10 people and left many others injured. The Benue State Police confirmed the blast and launched an investigation, deploying its bomb squad and collaborating with military and other security agencies. The bomber who died in the explosion was burned beyond recognition, while the injured victims have been taken to hospital for treatment. We also told you that a coalition of prominent opposition leaders have adopted the All Democratic Alliance ADA as its unified political platform to challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress APC in the 2027 general elections. The group has formally applied to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for ADA's registration as a political party. Now, in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Lime's World TV and AVO TV. Log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. And on business, in a move set to impact fuel prices nationwide, Dangote Petroleum Refinery has increased its ex-depot price of petrol to 880 naira per litre, up from the previous rate of 828 naira, representing a 55 naira upward adjustment. The revised pricing, confirmed through data from Petroleum Price NG, a daily product pricing tracker, and corroborated by a pro forma invoice issued by the refinery, is expected to ripple through the downstream market. This development marks the latest in a series of adjustments from Nigeria's largest and newest refining facility as it navigates fluctuating input costs, logistics dynamics, and market forces. Also, the Security and Exchange Commission (SEC) has issued a public warning against CM Trading, a cryptocurrency and commodities trading platform, over concerns of potential fraudulent activities in Nigeria's capital city. In an official statement released on Saturday, the Commission cautioned investors that CM Trading is not registered or regulated by the SEC and therefore is operating illegally within the country's jurisdiction. The platform reportedly claimed affiliation with GCMT South Africa Pty Limited, which it alleged is licensed by both the Financial Sector Conduct Authority of South Africa and the Financial Services Authority of Seychelles as a securities dealer. However, the SEC emphasized that such claims has no bearing on Nigeria's regulatory framework and do not authorize the platform to solicit investment from the Nigerian public. Now, on the global scene, a Tunisian court has sentenced former President Monsef Marzouki to 22 years in prison in Asemptia, following terrorism-related charges, with the ruling taking immediate effect. The verdict, announced on Friday, also applies to Marzouki's former advisor and the former president of the National Bar Association, both of whom received identical sentences. All three were tried and convicted in Asemptia as they are reportedly living in exile abroad. The ruling marks the latest escalation in Tunisia's deepening political crackdown since President Kais Saied assumed sweeping powers in 2021, dissolving parliament and ruling by decree. Iranian authorities have also announced the arrest of 22 individuals in Qom province accused of spying for Israel during an 8-day period of heightened tensions and military activities. According to local news, the arrests were confirmed by the head of police intelligence in Qom, who stated that the suspects had been apprehended since June the 13th, when Israel's airstrike reportedly escalated. The individuals are accused of having links to Israel's intelligence services and of disturbing public's opinion during the conflict. And finally, on sport, world record holder Toby Amuson delivered a brilliant performance at 2025 Paris Diamond League, finishing second in the women's 100-meter hurdles with a season best of 12.24 seconds, a second fastest time ever behind a 2022 world record of 12.12 seconds. She closed strongly but was edged out by Grace Stark of the US, who won in 12.21 seconds, a personal best and meet records that makes her the 5th fastest woman in the history over the event. The 28-year-old had earlier placed fourth in Zaire Manzaojin, bounced back with a win in Rabat with 12.45 seconds and continues to build momentum ahead of the season's biggest championships. The spectacular balloon cloud run that captivated crowds during the 2024 Paris Olympics is set to make a return to the skies, with organizers hoping to recreate the magic that turned it into an instant landmark. During the games in 2024, the 7-meter wide ring of electric fire floated gracefully above the Tuileries Garden at sunset each evening, which drew thousands of spectators eager to witness the striking symbol of Olympic spirit. And that wraps up our Latino news now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tamilore Akinkwole. See you again next time.